Today's chapter is 1 John 5. Faith in the Son of God. Everyone who believes in that Jesus is the Christ has become a child of God. And everyone who loves the Father loves his children too. We know we love God's children if we love God and obey his commands. Loving God means keeping his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. For every child of God defeats this evil world, and we achieve this victory through our faith. And who can win this battle against the world? Only those who believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and Jesus Christ, who revealed as God's Son by his baptism in water and by shedding his blood on the cross, not by water, only by water and blood, and the Spirit, who is truth, confirms it with his testimony. So we have these three witnesses: the Spirit, the water, and the blood. All of these agree, since we believe human testimony. Surely we can believe the greater testimony that comes from God, and God has testified about his Son. All who believes in his Son of God know their hearts that this testimony is true. Those who don't believe this are actually calling God a liar, because they don't believe what God has testified about his Son. And this is what God has testified. He has given us eternal life, and all this life is in his Son. Whoever has the Son has life. Whoever does not have God's Son does not have life. Conclusions. I have written this to you who believe in the name of the Son of God, so that you may know you have eternal life. And we are confident that he hears us whenever we ask for anything that pleases him. And since we know he hears us when we make our request, we also know that he will give us what we ask for. If you see a fellow believer sinning in a way that does not lead to death, you should pray, and God will give that person life. But there is no sin in that leads to death. And I'm not saying you should pray for those who commit it. All wicked acts are sin, but not every sin leads to death. We know that God's children do not make a practice of sinning, for God's Son holds them securely, and the evil one cannot touch them. We know that we are children of God, and that the world around us is under the control of our evil one. And we know that the Son of God has come, and he has given us understanding so that we know the truth, the true God. And now we live in fellowship with the true God because we live in fellowship with his Son, Jesus Christ. He is the only true God, and he has eternal life. Dear children, keep away from anything that might take God's place in your hearts. So we were reading 1 John 5. It does talk about sin, doesn't it? Yeah. That we do not practice sinning, though. If you practice sinning, that means that we're not truly with God. We're not truly, living for Jesus, though. If we continue to live in sin, because continue living in sin is not living for God. And for us to know Jesus completely, we need to stay away from practicing sinning. We need to practice on knowing Jesus and becoming more like Jesus. But is the world actually doing that? No, the world's not actually doing that. The world is living living the opposite. Is living the opposite. Hold on. So the world is living the opposite lifestyle of the way. Hold on. So we need to do the opposite of what the devil's doing. We need to do the opposite of what the devil is doing. The devil wants to take us out. He wants to take us out and kill us. Okay? And Jesus wants to give us life. That's right. Jesus wants to give us life. He wants to save us. He wants to give us life. That's what he wants. He didn't want to see us get dragged down by the enemy. He doesn't want to see us get deceived. Because see, I gotta tell you, Jesus hurts for us. He doesn't get hurt by us. That's right. Of course, Jesus gets hurt. Of course, he does. But when Jesus gets hurt, he's not being hurt by being offended. See, Jesus doesn't get offended, though. Jesus lives a perfect life. Jesus doesn't, allow himself to sin like we do. He allows himself to be perfect because he is God. Jesus will never allow himself to go any further than temptation. He doesn't go any further than temptation. He stops right there. He doesn't continue. He stops right there. And he doesn't allow the enemy to take him out. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys on the next live.